All right, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome to greencardguys.tv. I'm your host, John Ting, and we're here to secure your legal status. All right, now let's get down to it. I already got some questions on TikTok, of course. So y'all are ready to ask questions. Palm Kingdom, how are we handling PIP appointments? Are we gathering new clients information to get ready for August 19th? Absolutely. Because we know they're going to base it similar to how it's done with military parole place. That's a reasonable expectation because it kind of seems like, the Biden administration just kind of just put this out there and just like hoping things are going to fall into place. Okay. So when that happens, they got to use what's current workflow, and hopefully they can modify it to make it better because um, currently the military parole place, step number one for that is taking average 12 months. Of course, it's done by specific field office, so it's kind of wide ranging, but it's pretty ridiculous. It's very unfortunate. If what I prefer is if these applications for PIP go to the service center, okay? Um, hey Shimmer, yeah, early today. It's been a minute since I've been live on YouTube and focusing on TikTok a bit. But yeah, I I moved around my time block for y'all. Alrighty. Usually, let's see. But thank you so much for recognizing what time I go live usually. I usually try to go live at noon, but I had a couple interns this summer. I had to pay attention, to them, provide them a really good experience. Very fortunate they joined the team this summer. Okay, now I think I'm like out of order on TikTok on the questions. Let me see here. Shafiq, your I-130 was approved July 30th, 485 under review. Should I be worried? Should you be worried? Um, July 30th? It's only been like 16 days. It's not too bad. I think sometimes y'all what do you call it? Create more worry than need be, and that's why it's good to be on a live show here, okay? So you can ask me those kind of questions. But yeah, sometimes if I-130 is approved before the 45, and sometimes the 45 notice comes the next day, and some people wonder like why does that happen? And it's because USCIS sucks. They don't have a good workflow. It would make sense that like when they update one, it's updated at the same time, but that doesn't necessarily happen. Okay, let's go down here. Let me switch over to Aprendiendo. Hello there. Are you a teacher? Is that why you have that name? Shimmer. Oh, you're in India. Okay. So me going live now is better, right? Okay. LC Jonah, you're can I explain about I-130 over 21 process time in California office. I just actually LC, I just recorded a video about that on TikTok. Let's see if I can share my TikTok name on the website here. I think that's my TikTok name. Green Card Guys, right? Yeah. Okay. I just recorded that. I just uploaded it. But thanks for the question. over 21? Are you the sponsor, LC, or are you the U.S. citizen? So it's a little bit different, but yeah, it's generally the same family preference. That's what the video was about. The one I recorded today. Okay. Just okay, boss. I'm not skipping questions, by the way. I'm just scrolling because I see a lot of repeated questions. All right, copy and paste it. So, boss, your TPS with travel document granted. Okay, great. But your removal proceedings. Is it safe to travel outside U.S.? No, it's not. It's not a good idea. You need to get that removal proceedings dismissed, and we help with that. Okay, we accept very limited cases in general. Number one, we want to make sure you're eligible. Okay, to do the certain thing we want to do. A lot of people a lot of some law firms, they would accept your case, offer you services, but you might not be eligible. But the attorneys I know, they wouldn't do that. So um, we just want to check your case to see if you should be eligible to get your case dismissed. Okay, boss Ayub, roots and roots. Pending since February. It's 6 months now. Should you be expecting anything soon or far away? 6 months. I mean, the trend this past 2 years has been 3 to 6 months, but you're not too far off. Okay, hopefully you get your status soon. Thanks for joining the live show. Hey, Raphael, good to see you from Chi Town. Do you call it Chi Town? I know you've had a couple meetings with my team. Hopefully, uh, please always client. So some clients that join us live, it's a great thing. That's why since I have limited time to speak with clients myself, you call it Chicago. Okay, that's good. Um, but anytime, I'm always open to feedback about customer service, positive or negative. Okay, let's see here. Next question I'm looking for. Oh, see, I was scrolling down slowly but surely, and all of a sudden TikTok just moved it all the way down or that way. So, Lynn's 92. If you never received a text or email talking about PIP, does it mean you're not able to file for PIP? No, I mean, an email from who? The U.S. government, USCIS? They're not going to email you. That's not their what do you call responsibility. Okay. Now, if you have a law firm and you have a lawyer on hand you hired and they haven't updated you if you're eligible for it, that's a little strange, especially if they know that you filed for a waiver or something, because a PIP, marriage prone place, the intent I understand is to replace the waiver, so you don't have to go through that process. It doesn't get rid of the waiver; it's still available if people need to use it. Letter N on TikTok. Do you just want to know if you can do I-130 and 45 together? It depends on your situation, whoever you're asking for. There's a lot of that. That's the kind of question that you can schedule a meeting with our team so they can ask you those questions. Okay. Well, the first one is usually, did you enter with a visa in the first place? There are some situations where you did not have to enter with a visa. Huh. Okay. 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 Let's see here. Pretty Flacco. Good morning to you. My thoughts on applying for AOS during the pendency of 601A. Yeah. If you mean based on marriage parole in place, yeah, file the dang thing. Okay. Because USCIS is funded by your money. They want your dinero. Okay. They want your money. Okay. Because you fund them, not Congress, surprisingly. So you can, there are very limited scenarios where you cannot file for like more than one application. It's more about dual intent. But this situation, the other applications for the pursuit of immigrant visa. So that's okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Mr. Louis, what category is VAWA under? Do you mean for EAD purposes or something else? For EAD purposes, if you file the 485 as well, then it'd be the C9. Okay. The person with the finger sticking out on TikTok, you haven't received your asylum date. yet. It is pending and you have EAD. Can you travel in 2025? I don't know. I don't know how long do you have advanced parole? It's great to have EAD, but you need to apply for advanced parole. Nathan, you overstayed your F1. Okay. Well, it's good you enter with visa. It's preferred for adjustment of status purposes, and you married a U.S. citizen. What are your options? The marriage to the U.S. citizen. Um, I don't know. Are you asking for the forms or something? But yeah, that's the most common pathway. Okay, we call it adjustment of status. Okay, but if you're interested in our services or meeting with my team to find out if we're the right team for you, go ahead and click above. It costs this. If option number one on my link is this amount of dinero, okay, it's less than a cup of coffee. It's kind of wild, right? Now, please know, it's not a meeting with an attorney. Okay, I had an attorney that was networking with, schedule a meeting also, and she thought she was meeting an attorney. Just to make it clear, you're not meeting with attorney for option number one. If you want to meet directly with attorney, we have limited spots for a strategy session. Okay, it's more so if like you have legal questions. But if you already know that you want to join our team, that's option number one. Okay, because when you become a client, you're going to have one of your onboard meetings is with an attorney. Okay, and the what we call due diligence review. That meeting is with an attorney to verify. Okay, let's see here. Let me switch over here. Let me scroll up. Okay, Shimmer, you filed for asylum 2 years back. Do you have to withdraw the application and make sure there's no removal orders? If you were planning to go back to USA on any visa, maybe tourist visa. Wait, where are you now? Did I miss something? Oh, you're in India. Okay. That's right. Um, if Oh, I see. You didn't withdraw back then. You just like voluntarily left. Well, let me see if I can give you the website right now so you can check. You don't have this is it right here. Okay. Oops. Okay, this is the website to check. Because I don't recall the 589 application gives you an A number, but here is the let me type in here how website to check if you have a court date or a case. Okay, hopefully that helps. Okay, Raphael, you have an appointment with Jessica. Okay, great. Later. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good morning, and Raphael. Hopefully, you have a good experience of being able to schedule a meeting. I know that some people have talked to us, like talking about their previous law firm, like it's difficult to get a hold of them. We really try our best to respond in 24 hours by email, and sometimes even by email, like the context is maybe difficult to understand for ourselves or you back and forth. So in that sense, we always have a link to our meeting schedule or calendar below our signature, okay, in the email. So you don't even have to call in to schedule. And Raphael, hopefully you had that a good positive experience there, at least with respect to that. Okay, let's see over here. Fabiola, 601A waiver. It keeps going back and forth to two locations. What does it mean? It's just yeah, it's frustrating. But that that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just what they call transferring the case for workload purposes. Because who knows, maybe one service center is not doesn't have enough many people working in that at that service center. So they need to update that. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, trying to multitask. It's not easy. Not easy at all. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Hi, Sandy. You're asking how much for AOS with DACA and you did AP, so the fees increased. So I don't have it offhand right now, and it depends if you want to apply for work permit and AP again, which I guess you wouldn't need AP again. But my team handles the fees. I don't remember anymore. It used to be 1760, but now it increased in April. But you can contact my team if you need assistance with that. Alex, you've been married with a green card holder for 6 years now, and you have 3 kids. How long is the process in New York City? Well, it depends when you file it, and your spouse needs to become a citizen. Okay, you're gonna have to talk to him or her about this, because I need to record a video about this situation, but you're not going to be able to get status in America, okay? And because you're going to have to do a consular processing if your spouse doesn't want to become a citizen. So the ideal situation, well, first of all, Alex, did you enter with a visa? Y'all are shy. Anyone join the live show? Okay. If anyone wants to join the live show on TikTok, just go ahead and what's it called? Click multi-guest. I think that's what the option is. Now, if anyone wants to join the live show on YouTube, here's a link, and you'll pop up on my studio so I can see. Okay. It's just sometimes easier that way because I have so many questions. But let me finish up on Alex's. Okay, you enter a visa, great. So even though you enter the visa, but if your spouse remains a permanent resident, you still, some people think, oh, you can file 45. You could when the visa bulletin for F2A is current, but in no way in hell, unfortunately, and even when hell freezes over, it's going to get frozen 2 years back. It's ridiculous. They're working on cases that were filed in 2021, so it's not current. When it's not current, you have to show you have maintained non-immigrant status. And I'm going to safely assume it's been 6 years for you, Alex, that you probably did not maintain your status, which is very common. Nothing wrong with that. Don't give yourself a hard time. Some people do when they talk with us. And I'm like, it is what it is. It's just life. But your spouse, the solution here, instead of having to file a waiver that's going to wait 3 or 4 years just for the waiver application, talk to your spouse, encourage your spouse. So with our team, we have a course that helps, like a quiz, basically. It helps you study for the exam. It's only 10 questions, okay? I just helped prepare a client yesterday to become a US citizen for an interview. It's only 10 questions. You got to get 6 right. That's the standard in America. You got to get 60% right. Isn't that a little strange? I wonder if they change school standards like that. Let's see. Let me go to the next question. Jahon D, good morning. That's right. You're from Jamaica. Your wife is a U.S. citizen. She filed I-130 in 2023 August. How long do you think it'll be approved, and what's the timeline? Oh, wow. Was just past the 1 year anniversary of that petition for you. What's the timeline from the I-130 to get approved? It should be happening soon, hopefully. If a petition takes more than 15 months, I would consider filing a lawsuit because it really should not take more than 15 months when the person sponsoring you is a U.S. citizen. It's just ridiculous. PS Gaming on TikTok. How long do you have to wait after 751 is to be approved? It's been 19 months. My goodness. Because they give you the 48 months extension, 40 years extension. You would think, oh, that's a great thing. It is pros and cons. The pro is that it's an extension. You don't have to worry about necessarily going to the USCIS office to get a stamp, although I do recommend that for travel purposes to be put on your passport. But on the flip side, that's USCIS acknowledging that they suck. that they're so slow that they're like, okay, fine, I'll give you 48 months extra. That's so wild, isn't it? That you could be living in America for 4+ years. And then, I mean, worst case scenario, something bad happens to your status or RFE or something. But that's why you have an attorney to help you. Because if you move and even if you update your address with USCIS somehow might not register that change of address, even though it's submitted online. It's wild. So the backup plan is having an attorney to receive that notice for you if there's a request for evidence. Okay. Someone just hired us yesterday because of a situation like that. Okay. And in that situation, my goodness, I feel so bad. Yeah, they didn't respond to the RFE. So that's why we're here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, someone has tried to join the live show. Andrew. Okay, Andrew, it happens to your question. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Andrew.
Hi. Sorry, I was here actually on your live a couple of days ago.
Late night show. Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had said that I got married abroad to a U.S. citizen. I'm currently in the States on my B1 tourist visa, but this is my third tourist visa. So it's not like I haven't been coming in and out of the U.S. I have been coming in and out of the U.S. And now I'm considering to apply for the green card. Would that be an option? Because I remember the last time you had said that it probably, I guess I would be asked during the interview if I solely came to get married. But I've come here 3 times.
Yeah.
So would that, basically I'm trying to ask,
Yeah.
me coming here a couple of times, doesn't that show that I didn't abuse or violate?
I think that helps for sure. Yeah, I didn't know that third time the last time we talked, but yeah, you can still definitely apply. It's just my information I shared with you there is last time is just so you're ready for that type of question if they ask.
Okay. Then another question. My brother, he's currently in my home country. And he wants to come and marry a U.S. citizen here. He also has been coming regularly here. He wants to come here, get married to a U.S. citizen, then apply for a green card while on a B1 tourist visa. Would that be the better option, or do you think they should get married in my home country, then come here and apply?
I'm sorry, does your brother have a visa already currently?
Yes, he also has been, we both have been coming in and out.
Okay. If they have an option, I recommend getting married in America, not outside.
Okay, so it's better to get married in America than outside.
Yeah, best case scenario.
Best case scenario.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you're already here. You already got to the airport. It's great. It just if for some odd reason, customs officer ask a random question like that, I mean, you want to tell the truth, right? So, yeah, you want to prevent that fact. So I would just get married in America first. And I get it. And you have family abroad, right, in your country. They want to celebrate. So, man, I'll just do that celebration after the fact, after you're secure that legal status. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hopefully it helps.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
My internet is acting up.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's kind of interesting that TikTok allows me to see like your signal, so that's how I can get a pretty good idea. Let's see here. So let me go back to YouTube. Jahan, yours files Nebraska Service Center. Okay, well let me see if I can look it up real quick on USCIS processing time. By the way, if you're just now joining, welcome to GreenCardGuys.tv. I'll probably be on for another 5 minutes because I gotta switch hats off of marketing hat and sharing information hat to managing my team. If you have a business, put in the comments BIZ, biz. I'm interested how many of y'all have your own business. because y'all will understand what I'm going through right now. Okay, we got to do an I-130 processing time. U.S. citizen filing for you, Jahon, Nebraska. It won't even let me pick. It won't even let me pick which service center anymore. It just says all service center. So that's being I-130 filed by a U.S. citizen spouse or parent with a child under 21. That's being processed. 80% of cases, they say 15 months. Man, I'm glad they even have a number. That's good at least, because they change it for family preference cases. So 15 months, and Jahon, you got it in 12 months right now. So wait 3 more months, okay? Unfortunately. Man, my stomach is growling. Okay, let me see what it is for siblings. Because someone asked that as a comment earlier. Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, it says C notes, and they're just waiting on the visa bulletin for that one. Okay. Sorry about that, Jahon. I realize I usually share my screen on YouTube, but I forgot to do it on that one. Raphael, if you're still on, you're asking, is an IR petition, can it be denied for any reason? Well, I know everyone wants peace of mind. That's why I'm here, right? But ultimately, I need to understand better what brings up this concern. Like, what in your situation or whoever you're asking for, what is in their situation that's a concern, a possible concern? Maybe. So, but if there's no concern and we reviewed it in that sense as well, then it should be fine. Otherwise, we would have prepared you to say maybe we need to file a waiver in this situation. And we've had that happen. Some clients say, "Oh, I think I need to apply for a waiver," and we say, like, "I don't think so. But if you need to, this is how much. If you think we need to later, let's try it without the waiver first, because that costs a lot more money. That's an extra one G. Is that what we call it? 1G. And then attorney's fees, we charge more for that because waivers take a lot longer, 3+ years now to maintain the file. It turns out usually we're right. So far we've been right that no one has had to file a waiver when we review it and we don't believe you need to file a waiver. Okay, let's see. I got another guess. Amity Sound. Amity?
Hi, can
Hello.
you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I am great. Okay, so I was on your YouTube at one point and I had asked a question about my interview. I ended up getting scheduled an interview. So now I'm kind of nervous. It's next week. There is an age gap between myself and my husband. Not only that, we met online.
Okay.
I've known him since probably like 2017. We didn't actually officially start really dating until we actually got married because COVID happened and there was just a lot of things that restricted movement between us.
Yeah.
We, have like joint insurance. Well, he has me on his insurance. I just got a job, so I have him on my insurance. Not only that, where we were living, I couldn't find a job there. I applied for different states, ended up getting a job in another state, and I'm currently in training. So when I have the interview, I have to, fly back to Utah to get the interview done, and I'm going to be on a probationary period with that job. So I'm very hesitant to, because I have their equipment. Is there anything that you could kind of guide me along on? I'm not really sure what the best way is, because I can show that I need approval to move their equipment. I can't just get up. I got fired from one job because I ended up doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's break it down a bit because I know you have a lot of questions about that. So, but first about the age. Although I know the trend is to say age is nothing but a number, but how was the age gap?
It's about 25.
Okay.
25, maybe 30.
Maybe 30? Well, I laugh because one of the tried and true questions I ask is, what is their spouse's date of birth? So you got to know that.
I definitely know that for sure.
Okay, but you just don't want to say it on here. That's okay. I get it. You gave me a
Yeah,
range.
I know.
Okay. So so they may or may not ask about it directly like that, but they could ask
Mhm.
like who proposed to who? Uh, did you know that? At what point did you know that? I don't know if you're the sponsor or not. You don't have to share, but
No, I'm the beneficiary. That I do know because he proposed to me
mhm.
3 times and I accepted it on the third. So it's kind of funny because when anybody asks, they're like, "Well, she finally said yes on the third time."
The third time's a charm. Okay.
Right.
By the way, not every guy should follow that type of mentality, though. Okay. But yeah, okay. Well, it worked out this the third time for both of you then. Well, so yeah, that's helpful to the story. Well, number one
Mhm.
is true, but because yeah, I mean, you could have said yes the first time if you really were seeking legal status, and that's all you cared
Exactly.
about. So clearly, you were taking your time to make sure that he's the right fit. So let's see. Um, yeah, I know people are concerned about the age gap in general. I think as long
Mhm.
as you truly feel, I guess you could say, in your heart why you said yes the third time, for example, and why he proposed, um, because they could ask like, oh, they don't. I've never had anyone ask officer ask like, why did you get married? Why did you propose? That's kind of a strange question, right? But they ask it. They can ask it in a different way, like, when did you first meet? When did you propose? Things like that. So just through learning the story from clients, applicants, that's how officers can figure out if something's wrong. But
Right.
sounds like it's a legit marriage, of course. You wouldn't say otherwise on a live show anyway, but um but yeah, but in terms of, you said you were living in different locations for a while even after marriage, or only before?
After before I had only really came to the US, well, after my J1, I was on a B2. I came to the US for my friend's mother's funeral. So I wasn't necessarily staying here until about 22. And then we didn't actually start living together until we got married. Um, when we got married, that's when I was kind of having issues with where we were in terms of getting a job. On my application, I put where I was, and then I said, let me try the other state. And I ended up getting a job there, but they were sending equipment there. And I was like, okay, to prevent what happened with me getting fired from a previous job, let me just stay here, finish my training, finish whatever probationary period. So that's where I'm at right now. And I had done a consultation previously with a lawyer, and I was telling her this, and she was like, "Well, you don't have to let them know until they ask." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't want to lie and say I've been here 100%. I've been traveling back and forth. I
Mhm.
spent Christmas where we live. He came down here for Memorial Day, I think,
Uh-huh.
and then we're planning another trip together with his family or his friends,
Mhm.
because my family, majority of them are back home.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Right. Right.
kind of that's where it's at.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's where our representation, we have to know, like, not necessarily your life story, but let's say the last
Right.
4 years, because for example, I had a client went to interview in Dallas, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, and you know, we have to know the last 4 or 5 years, because it helped me understand how to jump in and to intervene politely, professionally in an interview, um, to help boost boost it to be approval, I guess you could say.
Right.
Yeah.
When you say the last 4 or 5 years, are you referring to like if we were married for the last 4 or 5 years,
Hmm.
or
Yeah. When did you get
well, we
married?
only got married. What are we in? We only got married last year.
Okay, last year. But I say four or
Right.
5 years for in your situation because you've known him since 2017, right? So
Right.
even though it was difficult to meet up together or something, whatnot, you still have some kind of relationship.
Right.
So it kind of sounds like you need some more peace of mind with an attorney. Where's your interview?
It is as in the state.
Sure. Let's start with the state.
It's gonna be in Utah.
Utah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well, because I was trying to think if I know any attorneys in Utah. I don't know of any right now at the moment. But I could ask if you need one. Okay. When did you file your case? Last year?
Last
Right.
year, late last year.
Oh, late
And
last
then-
year. Okay.
Right. So late last year, November, and then got my work permit around April. And my travel document, this is when I knew I was going to get an interview because they gave me the travel document before anything else. And then that's when I got the notification that we have an interview scheduled, which wasn't strange because I knew probably the age gap. Maybe we did something on the form that wasn't 100%. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's a good timing tracking wise since late last year. And that makes sense because you got married last year. So, okay, that's good.
Okay.
All
So
right.
do you think that we should speak to a lawyer to maybe be with us at the interview or guide us on what to do? Or
Yeah, I
is
recommend
it
it.
okay to do a consultation for that? Or what would be your best guidance in terms of,
Yeah,
because the interview is next week, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah, most lawyers won't accept
Mhm.
cases like that last second. I mean, we would, but the flight cost is a bit probably going to be higher. My closest attorney to you is in Denver, so so maybe that might work out. But yeah, I mean, I don't think consultation per se is enough for your concerns because there's a lot to like work through to discuss.
Right.
Yeah, and consultation usually 1 hour, 30 minutes to an hour. So just to give you the realistic expectation, because
Right.
you shouldn't because if you're hoping for like a solution per se on what to say in a consultation, attorneys won't provide it because they want you to sign up and allow them to represent. So I mean, we provide as much as we can, but at the same time, you have to think about it on an attorney perspective. It's a liability issue. They will tell you what you need to do, but because we weren't actually at the interview, we weren't there to be able to jump in if we needed to. So
Right.
I don't think you have any inadmissibility concerns, but as more, if anything, the bona fide marriage to make sure. And I can't say like, yeah, you'll be fine because we haven't reviewed your documentation. We don't know what you filed.
Exactly.
Mhm. That's just as transparent as possible because some people talk to us and they finally found us and we're like the 10th attorney and they're like, oh, now I understand why some law firms don't
Mhm.
are a little bit hesitant.
Right. Yeah, that was just my only concern because, like I said, I did a consultation
Mhm.
previously just to kind of say, hey, do you think we should do this? Because I don't want to leave it out. And then they were like, oh no, you don't have to update your address. When you get to the interview, just let them know.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, if you say so.
Mhm.
So that's my main concern, not necessarily the age, because
Yeah.
as you said, we can't really, love who love. And we have things together. That was just really kind of my only concern.
I don't think I caught this one part, but are you currently living together?
Meaning, well, I'm training right now, so I
How
am
far is that?
in one state and he's in the other state. And
How?
then he travels to like California for work or something. But I have to, where I'm at right now, I have to stay because they have the equipment. I'm on a probationary period. So it's not like I can get up and leave without their approval. So I was waiting until that probationary period falls off. And then I say, hey, I'm, going back to where I was.
How long is your
Because
probation period? It seems like a long time. Sounds like you're in a prison. Jeez.
I was in training for about 5 weeks. and then I just ended, so it's 180 days.
Okay. So after 180 days, you go back to Utah?
Correct. Right. Well, I have to
And-
request approval so they know that their equipment is going to another state.
Okay. Well, aside from the equipment.
Yeah, pretty much.
But let's not talk about the equipment. Let's put that to the side because you keep mentioning that. Let's focus. So this is a little snippet, y'all, about how like we would conduct a strategy session to help like get your mindset ready for the interview.
Right.
Okay, because you get stuck with the equipment. The officer doesn't care about the equipment, okay?
Okay.
Because you didn't specify what this equipment is and how it's important to your job or your training, right? It's a little confusing. And that's okay for TikTok purposes, right? But okay, I'm thinking like an officer. Okay, so let's say your training's about to wrap up. What about 5 months before? Were y'all living together?
We were, yeah.
Okay. And that's in Utah?
That was in Utah, yes.
All
All
right.
of my documents are Utah based.
Okay. So then in that sense, that's okay. And how long were you living together before you had to leave for training?
I'd say months. I didn't really count it.
Less than a year?
Yes, less than a year. Because we got married roughly about a year ago. And
Okay.
then we were living together less than
Okay.
a year ago.
Okay. Okay. That sounds better. Right. That makes sense. Right. Because you got married sometime last year.
Right.
Which month was that?
That was in May.
May. So in May, when you got married, when did you start living together?
In May?
In May. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. But seriously, that's how officers will walk down the questions one by one to just
Right.
piece it together. And, of course, your forms may say it, but even if your forms mention the same address, they just want to make sure verbally.
Right.
Okay. All right. So it's so far it's sounding good. Okay. But you notice the difference here because you're so focused on the present time.
Right.
So you want to, if you're in an interview by yourself, we would say, mention that you were living together before, because usually officers receive the case file the morning before you interview. So they don't have that much time to review. So think of it as a job interview. You want to present
Right.
the best possible presentation without, with it being as genuine as possible.
Right.
And that just be yourself. But sometimes just being yourself is not enough because some people are just like laid back, not really paying
Right.
attention, right? So hopefully that gives you a better idea.
It did actually give me a slightly peace of mind because, as you said, I was more focused on what's currently happening right now versus, if they ask me about what happened before, now I know kind of what to expect. So
Sure. Yeah.
just a little bit of questioning kind of helped my
Yeah.
mind frame a little bit.
I guess you had to go to law school for that. That's how we just break down, because you can't ask like, did you? I don't know if I can say this on social media, that you just didn't like kill someone. It's like
Right.
trial, right? We had to break down the questions that lead up to that final situation.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much. I'm gonna leave the floor for anybody else. And thank you.
Well, that was a
very
good
much.
one. That was a good one. Hope
Thank you.
everyone else gathers something. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Bye-bye.
bye. So no, I really appreciate her questions, because I know many of y'all wonder like, can I do it myself? Maybe the very beginning, okay, but especially depending on your personality, you want everyone wants it right. But if someone is a bit shy, I don't know if I can say this for the entire Asian race, but if someone's asking me a question, whether I think it's makes me nervous or not, sometimes I look down, right? So you might notice that of your Asian homies. But anyways, I think that hopefully that was helpful for everyone else. Let me answer a couple more questions here on the written questions. Yeah, I see a lot of hearts. I see some taps on the screen there. If you don't mind, if you appreciate how I just went through that with her, if you don't mind, subscribe down below on YouTube, on TikTok. Go ahead and follow, okay? Because if I didn't get to your question, I apologize. This is not intended to be a 5-hour show like I did last month. I don't have that much energy right now. I'm still recovering. So yeah, go ahead and join the team. right up here, because apparently that helps me know if you're on a team, I can recognize that and answer your question sooner. All right, so join the team, go ahead and follow, and then if you're actually interested in our services, hey, awesome, happy to help you. It'll be our pleasure. Go to my link under my profile. It starts with ZAAP, and you have a couple options. Number one, if you're interested in our services, that's option number one. You pay this amount of dollars, less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. I know they're trending, not for the right reasons. And then option number two, if you're like, well, I'm not too sure, I'm not even sure if I'm eligible, or you have hypothetical questions for the future, then yes, meet with one of our attorneys. But keep in mind, it's three digits, okay? You got to pay 3 digits worth. And then because their time is focused on actually reviewing your cases, making sure it's all correct, conduct due diligence, and then get that filed for you in a timely manner. Okay. And third option, if you're like, you're living outside America, you don't know anything about immigration law, you just heard about a little thing called student visa, J1 visa, and want to know the pros and cons of that. That's a webinar. Okay, which is off the social media platforms. Okay, that's option number three. Which, by the way, the next webinar is going to be Tuesday, the day after the PIP application start date, because we expect USCIS to reveal more information. So we're going to study that ASAP as soon as it comes out on the 19th. Hopefully, it comes out the 18th. All right, let me see if I can answer. Let's see if I can answer another question here. Ade or 8232, your case is stuck. Where is it stuck at? NC 1213, you said you all don't live together. Sounds sketchy. Come on, come on. You gotta learn their story, right? And that's the thing. We broke it down for her. So turns out it seems more legit than you initially thought. I hope so. Jasmine and Geo, do I think PIP will require I-130? Eventually. Marriage Pro employs I-131, at least for the military pro in place. So that is step number one for the pro in place. Then after that's approved, then you file I-130. Yes, there's no strict rule in terms of one or the others first. But look, if we can save you some money, it makes sense to do the pro in place first for whoever's just banking on that option. Okay. Let's see. That's right, Jabs at NC12. Still more to learn, right? That was only like 2 or 3 minutes. I think, not that I would do this, but I think I would be a pretty good USCS officer based on my experience on this side of things. Jessica Banos, can you apply for PIP? I would need to know more about your situation, your factual history, immigration history. So the best thing to do, if anyone's wondering if you're eligible for marriage pro in place or anything else, the best thing to do is schedule for option number one or option number two in my link. Okay, I see you share more information. You filed, your husband filed I-130 212 approved. Okay, that's good. You did motion 2 times and denied 601A. Why was a 601A? Oh, 601A is pending. Okay, you ran out of characters there. The motion to dismiss was denied twice. Is that what you're trying to say? Well, let's talk about that. That would probably, you could do option one or two. Okay, Jessica. So we want to find out why it was denied. But absentia to get that rescinded, basically deleted from the history, it's very limited reasons. Okay, to get that reopened and dismissed. Okay, you have to, number one, have to be eligible for residency, which seems like he would be through your help. But number two, what was the reason why he didn't show up to the court date? Did he not update the address, or maybe it's through his parents that did it for him, or did not do it for him? There's a lot of information, questions we have. Jen, we also help with employment based. It's just because I talk more about family based here because the questions, but we absolutely help with employment based as well. Investor visas. Let's see. NOSA, what supporting documents do you need for your immigration process? It depends on which immigration process you're going through. Munira, waived at the border, no proof. Married to USA citizen, been here since 2009. Can you file a PIP? Yeah, sounds like you meet two main requirements right there. What's the process to speak with me? If you want to speak directly with me, it'd be here on a live show, but obviously more people. But if you want a one-on-one, I do charge a 3-digit fee just with me. Mine is a little higher than if you speak with one of my associates. So no hard feelings if you end up picking the meeting with one of my associates. Okay, let's see here. Jahon D, you're waiting for the video on the process from Jamaica. Okay. I know I think you asked that me before. Make sure to, my team reminds me to do that for you. Okay. But it's a similar process for everyone else. It's just, I think you're more concerned about the wait time and when the petition's approved. Okay. Munira, I think, is next on the live show. Okay, I got 3 people on the live show right now. Oh, maybe not anymore. She went away. Okay, Jessica. Jessica's next, and the next on deck is Claudia.
Hello.
Hi, Jessica. What's up?
Hi. You kind of answered my question slightly, but so my husband has a deportation in absentia. We tried opening up that case for the motion twice. It was denied. There was no reason on why it was denied. Would we be able to qualify for PIP? Because I'm getting a lot of lawyers saying yes and a lot of lawyers saying no. I know that the federal register isn't out yet, but I'm trying to just get feedback on that.
Yeah, we've had clients before that have removal order or a permanent bar situation, and been able to get the work permit through military parole place. So I anticipate that to be similar for the marriage parole place at the very least. And the marriage parole place is supposed to be a 3-year work permit. So so even if worst case scenario, I mean, we're still waiting on the federal register for more information. But worst case scenario is that even if cannot get the court case reopened and dismissed, that hopefully he can get the marriage parole place, the 3-year work permit. Step number 1.
I was hoping that because we have the I-212, we'd have a little bit more of a advance, in the situation. But at this point, I'm getting a little nervous because, like I said, a lot of lawyers are saying no, that people with deportations can't apply for PIP.
Yeah. So what I recommend doing is I would look at, if you were to contact our team, I would look at what was filed before with that motion to look exactly, because we're pretty picky on what to put in the letter and
I
say the story.
think that's kind of what happened with our motions. My husband was 17 when he entered, so he was a minor. But I think they based it mostly off the fact that I'm a U.S. citizen and he's now in a different kind of state in life where I'm petitioning him and we have the 3 children. But yeah, I'm aware that it has to be specific reasonings on why you didn't show up at the court. They're very picky, and it was sent to the DHS, I think it was. So it wasn't through the judge. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we prefer to get a joint the position of what's it called, DHS, but we'll still file to the judge.
Yeah.
Was yours filed to the judge? It sounds like it.
Well, we didn't do that one type of motion because it was, as of what we understood, through DHS you have a million opportunities. You could, as long as you have a different reason, you can send it out. But with the judge, you only have one opportunity to open that up. So that's why we tried to do it, through DHS at first.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess if it's not possible to do PIP, you know, we're gonna have to do it through the judge, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I recommend trying to get that reopened again. But we're happy to take a look. In this situation, if you want one of our attorneys to take a look, yeah, it'd be the option number 2 in our link.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Good luck to you. Oh man, she's got a tough job. Jessica has a tough job right now. In addition to the immigration case for her husband, she's got some kids in the background. Fortunately, mine are not here. Okay, so I got some questions on YouTube as well. I know there's a couple guests. Claudia's waiting, so Claudia, I'll get to you very soon. We got Lukeman on YouTube. Your parents have been waiting for their B1, B2 for over 5 years. I've been processing, even though they came to the US almost 5 times. What can you do about it? A lot of people ask us to file a lawsuit for B1, B2 delay. We prefer not to, unless you're really insistent, but it's because it's discretionary. It's discretionary. So it sounds like they've been to America before. But when they were in America before, you said 5 times, at any of those visits, did they overstay their visa? Trying to figure out if there's like some other reason why they could have been refused. Deidre, your husband filed an I-130 petition in 2013. It was approved, but you never continued to respond. What happened? 2013, and after your case was sent to Visa Center, if you're approved for a PIP, do you need another I-130? That is interesting. That is interesting. We're at the standpoint that if there's any way we can save you some money and not have to file a new petition, we'll try that. But we'll have to see if it's been terminated or not. 2013, that's 11 years ago. So we'll have to take a look. Okay. Michael, you feel your U.S. citizen wife doesn't want to file for you. It becomes a fight anytime I ask her to let's go open a joint account to start the process. She doesn't want to put you on a lease. Ooh, this is a doozy. Okay, Michael, I feel you. Okay, I acknowledge your situation. I would say, especially if you've been married for a while, like at least 12 months, this is a concern for sure. Okay, in the sense that, yeah, I mean, if it's been only like a month, it doesn't sound like it's only been a month or so, but as I it's been at least 12 months, something's going on, and that's why in our contract, actually, yeah, in our contracts, we have a provision. I know some people might not like it, but I don't know why I sound like a country person for a second. Um, the thing is, yeah, we in our contract to help. I don't want to say force it, but like we don't want a lot of cases just standing in the prep mode, the prep stage with our law firm. As soon as we get the case, we're gonna do everything we can to help you file the case as soon as possible. I don't know why some law firms don't think that way. Number one is customer service. File a case as soon as possible. Now, look, we're not gonna work overtime and stay up all late hours like law school and then file a case. That's not how it works. It takes time anyway to gather evidence, things like that. But to prevent a situation like Michael's situation, um, maybe one other way to say Michael, your spouse, hey, let's go talk to an attorney. Let's go schedule a meeting, see like what under the steps are, and that will be maybe the nail in the coffin in that sense because not and obviously Michael, I know you're not getting married just for legal status, but look, if you've been married for quite a while, it's like, come on, bro, it's time to get me some legal status so we can travel abroad. I'm sure everyone wants a life like that where you can travel wherever you want. So, man, we just don't want her or him, your spouse, to hold you back, right, in your life. So let's um let's think about that, right? So there's a lot I could say about this, but the other thing is that you mentioned here, is there anything else you can do? And our next question would be, is there any kind of abuse that itself could be considered emotional abuse? So let's talk more. I don't talk about VAWA that often. I should. PIP has kind of taken over the landscape of the questions, but Violence Against Women Act is gender neutral. You don't have to be a female to apply for this. And also, it does, when you apply for something like this, it does not notify your spouse. Okay. Even if you have a current petition on file. Okay. There's a lot more I can say about that, but let me get Claudia on if she's still waiting patiently. Maybe. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I've been live for an hour. I guess she's not there. Oops, I was a little too slow. Munira, I think you wanted to ask a question earlier. I just invited you back. Claudia, can you rejoin? I guess it went away for some reason. Jen, you're here on B1, B2. Would want to transfer to employment-based green card? Any tips? It's not going to be possible. Okay, here's why. Employment-based takes average 2 years minimum. And that's not even including the visa wait time on the visa bulletin, which could be, depending which country you're from, a national of, it could take even longer. So I recommend, Jen, that you come back a different time, unless you're eligible for something that you can apply now. But when I say come back a different time is H-1B. Okay, H-1B can be processed when you're not in America. Okay, anyway, because registration date for H-1B temporary work visa is in March. And even if you get selected at the end of March, that doesn't mean you can start working in May or April. There's another package have to be sent, and then the earliest start date for the H-1B for the next one every year is October 1st of that year. So it's not wise to just change status to B1, B2 to H-1B, because you can't even register for it now, and also for employment based. But maybe there's other options. O visa, L visa if you're working for a company that was abroad that has an office here. There's just a lot of options. So this is an example of selecting option 3 for a webinar. It's free. If you want to speak to an attorney, it's available. Okay, it's limited spots, but it's available. And that's option number 2 for a 3-digit fee. Okay, but the webinar is, I wouldn't say slow rolling, but it's been a lot of focus right now on the marriage parole in place. So anyways, hopefully that gives you an idea. We're here to share information, folks. So let's get Claudia back on. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Hi. Thank you. I had talked to you and a few days ago. It was at night. I had let you know that my husband had left, so we wouldn't qualify, I guess, for the parole in place. But you said that he might be able to get like a worker's permit and whatever for 3 years. What happens after the 3 years?
If parole in place still exists back at that time in the future, then you can continue renewing it for an extra 3 years. Yeah, that's what's currently allowed with the military parole in place. Just keep renewing it if someone has like a permanent bar, for example.
Right. Okay, because that's what we were curious about. I'm like,
Sure.
okay, so if we do this, because we haven't done anything, and we've been married for about 23 years now, but we haven't done anything because of that. He left and came back.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, if we do that now, what happens? Do they look for you? Like, does it expire? Like, I guess what happens?
Do they look for you? Probably not. If likely not. If he doesn't have any crimes or arrest. Okay.
Yeah, we won't have anything like that, thank God.
Okay.
But
That's
perfect.
good.
And then your team can help us do something like that, yes?
Yes, ma'am. We can help. Yeah. So, have you gone to my link yet on my profile?
Yes. But I hate that you can't pay with something else besides your account number.
Oh. Well, how else are you trying to pay?
Like the Venmo or something, maybe?
Oh, okay. In that sense, just call my team, and then I think we have Venmo. I have to tell my team. I'm pretty sure we have
It's just so
some kind.
scary now that you put your account number anywhere. And
Yeah, like a credit card. Oh, yeah. That's why I like Capital One. Not that I'm sponsored by them, because Capital One, you can create like a virtual number, and then you can like cancel it anytime. Kind of deal. Yeah.
I'll have to
Take a look at
into
that.
And then also your team, would they help us apply or get the FOIA?
Yes, we like doing FOIA just so we have the whole history as much as possible. that's a different fee. But yeah, we do have that option available. But yeah,
And would I have to pay the 3-digit fee to start the FOIA, or can I pay the cup of coffee fee to start the FOIA?
you can start the cup of coffee fee. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, most immigration attorneys, I think it's interesting that they're like, no, 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 I need to talk to the person meeting, right? And I totally get it, but especially these days, I mean, number one, we really care about making sure everyone is eligible for whatever we're applying for. Absolutely. So we wouldn't offer a quote if someone's eligible. In worst case scenario, everyone, just to be sure, if it turns out you're not eligible, I mean, number one, we have an attorney review the file within the first 24 hours, preferably. That's part of our workflow. And then, but like you said, FOIA, we need a time to review that. Um, but yeah, we would, depending on the situation, and we haven't filed anything, then we'll refund the money if we can find out quickly. Okay, oh, you're not eligible. So and that-
Awesome. Okay.
yeah, for like PI, if you sign up for PIP, if you sign up for help on FOIA, then we don't refund on the FOIA. But
No,
hopefully
no,
that gives you an idea. Mhm.
But no, we're looking into, I think like I said, we kind of hit,
A roadblock.
but we're done. I don't know what, we have to do something in this case. It's been
Yeah.
forever. So
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look. Let's start with the FOIA then.
awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Claudia.
I'll get that started today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
So that's I had not thought about that. I think my link has our phone number. Like you click it and it'll call. But you know what? We need to add something where you can actually see the phone number. So that's my bad. I'll ask my marketing team to do that. Let me ask before I forget. Okay, let's see. Okay, a couple of y'all just joined. I think we got Aprendiendo Juntos and then Jaylene, and I'll probably cover it for today. I've been on live TikTok for like an hour and a half, and hello. Aprendiendo Juntos? Oh, did he mute? They muted themselves. Oh. Are you sleeping? Is that snoring I hear?
Hey,
Oh,
my
welcome.
bad. I didn't mean to connect.
Oh, you didn't mean to connect. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I mean, you're my lawyer, but no.
Okay, okay.
You're somebody else.
All right, no worries. Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
That's funny. You know, this thing is like TikTok, we don't know what all these buttons do, so I do that sometimes too. All good. All right, Jaylene's probably happy about that. Let's go to Jaylene. What's up?
Hello.
Hi.
Quick question. So my husband, I believe he's eligible for the PIP. The only thing is that he has 2 entries. He was here in 2007 to 2008, and then he came back in 2014, but he's been here ever since. So it's been 10 years. If we send all of our documents that like prove that he's been here, like for example, school transcripts, it says he was here from 2007 to 2008. Would that hold anything up in the PIP because he has 2 entries, but has been here for 10 years?
Yeah, so it sounds like a permanent bar situation, but even so, you could still apply for PIP, in our opinion. No, I don't believe it hold it up because it's only for work permit, not for the residency part. Mhm.
All right, so he'd be eligible for the work permit, but when it came to like, because I know once you get your work permit, you have 3 years to
work. Yeah,
for
3 years
Is that
to
when
continue
you're-
working with that work permit, and then you just have to renew it before it expires to go through the similar process. Mhm.
I see. So in his case, because he has been here for 10 years, first entry wouldn't matter too much.
It wouldn't matter for the purposes of PIP, from what we understand. Okay, from using the experience of the military parole in place. Okay, so but for residency, that's a different. We would say you're not eligible for that, or your husband.
I see.
Mhm.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
that answers my question.
sure. Okay,
Cool.
happy to help.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, but in general, so even though I've said in general, someone is eligible for a marriage parole in place when someone has permanent bar. It's still a better idea to authorize one of our attorneys or our team to assist you because because we just got to make sure, okay? Because we wouldn't want you to file something and then, like, I think I talked to a lawyer that said something about this, and I don't remember the name. That happens. We talk to people and we ask, who was that lawyer that helped you? And they don't remember their own attorney's name. That's why we email y'all so you can remember us. Don't forget us. Okay, let's see. Roots and Roots, you're asking for a friend that's been waiting for asylum for 12 years and hasn't heard from USCIS. What should he do? He should authorize our team to sue USCIS. We wait minimum 4 years. We have people asking us at 3 years waiting if they can file a lawsuit. We recommend waiting 4 years, but your buddy's been waiting 12 years. When we file a lawsuit, on average, it's been about 1 to 3 months after file a lawsuit to get the interview date. Okay, Roots and Roots. So let your friend know. Get an immigration asylum attorney ready to help him for the interview. And we have referrals, of course. Zimta, you applied for C1D and visa a month ago. You put on 221G. You missed 2 chances to join the ship, but today you missed it all. Oh my goodness. Can you withdraw your passport? What will happen to your application ongoing? You mean try to get your passport back while your application is still pending? Yeah, C1D unfortunately takes like average 6 months, I believe, if they get put on admin processing. If you need your passport in the meantime, that happens. If the consulate embassy asks for your passport and you think it's not necessarily a good thing because they could hold on to it indefinitely until you ask for it back because maybe you want to travel to another country where you have a visa or you don't need a visa. So yeah, it's possible to get it back. Lukeman, they never overstayed. Maximum stay was 1 month or a couple of weeks. I think you're referring to your parents, if I recall. They were doing their normal visa renewal every 2 years, and one time we never heard from them. Okay, yeah, that is strange, right? So glad they didn't have any immigration violations. How long were you waiting? Your parents waiting? Let's see. It looks, I think, a while. Yeah, I think several years, but what we do in limited situations, we don't offer for everyone, but we would contact the U.S. Embassy or consulate to say, this is the situation. We provide typically a letter from the applicant. We review it, make it stronger, telling all the truth, of course, and it's called a request for reconsideration. Okay, it depends on the situation. All right, but that usually helpful if we know what is a situation that's holding it back. But if we don't know, then we're just kind of guessing, right? But anyways, hopefully that gives you an idea. And we've had it overturned, visa reviews overturned, and did not need to do a mandamus lawsuit. I guess let's see. Liz, homeschool mom, I know, sorry, you copy and paste your question. I haven't been able to answer your question until now. Pending I-130, you have an approved AAP, but order of deportation, should you travel for legal entry? No, not yet. Well, let's try to get that order of deportation removed, if possible, first, okay? Then we can talk about traveling. Can you ask a quick question? Anyone can ask a question. It's just that you're probably not going to be next. I got a lot of questions here, but okay, you're live. Okay, let's get you on. Okay, you're going to be the last guest. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I just have a quick question.
Sure.
So I was born in Curacao. I don't know if you know that island. And I was brought here by my mom. She's Jamaican. She brought me here when I was 4. So I stayed here from 4 to 19 and left to Europe. I didn't have any status at the time that I left, but I did get married before I left here. And when I came back, I started filing. I came back a year later and started filing with my wife and stuff like that. It took a couple years, but we finally got my work permit for 2 years.
Okay.
And after the work permit situation, my lawyer basically didn't file a waiver form at the beginning of filing for me to get like not citizenship, but to have like work and eligibility here. And she waited until like the last 3 months of me having my work permit to say, hey, you have to pay this fee for the waiver in order to, you know, continue the process. So I couldn't do that, and now I don't have my work permit anymore. So my question, I guess, to you is, you know, what is my next move? Should I just go refile? Should I find a like a better lawyer? Because my lawyer basically, you know, she told me we wouldn't need this waiver, and then at the end, that's what really basically messed me up.
Snap. You know? Okay, man. Yikes.
So I've been here since I was a kid. You know what I mean? I left I left one time and came back, so I re-entered one time.
Based on your quick summary there, it sounds like you have a permanent bar. And correct me if I'm wrong. So let me recite part of what you said about your entry. You entered when you're very young age, without a visa or with a visa?
It was a 90-day visa. You know, they have the 90-day stays that you can stay here, and I overstayed.
Okay.
At that time, but between then and 18, they didn't count that as an overstay when I went to because I went through the process. I went through an interview and stuff like that. So 18 to 19 though, how many days was that when you left? When I left for a year. You know, I left for like a year and
but when you turned 18 years old, from the 18th birthday until the day you left, how many days was that? Less than 365 days?
It might have been a little more. I left in my birthday's in October. And I left in January of being 19. So about January 28th or something like that. So
for anyone else listening, if you overstay your visa or you're over 18 years old and it's less than 365 days, that's a 3-year bar when you leave. But whether it's 3 or 10-year bar and then you came back without a visa, is that correct?
Yeah, I was able to re-enter again. Like I came back, they asked me at the airport, hey, like, why are you here? I'm here for my wife and my kids. And then I did start the process to stay here.
Okay.
Shortly thereafter, after coming back again.
But how did you come? What did you have a document? A visa?
I have a passport. I have a Netherlands passport, so I'm a UE citizen. So I came on my passport. When I got here, you know, I talked to a lawyer, and we went through the process from there. So this is like maybe 3 years ago now. You know what I mean?
UE meaning you have visa waiver? Were you eligible for that?
I was eligible to do the visa waiver, but the lawyer that I had told me that it wasn't important enough to do it. Like we weren't going to need it. And then when we went to the interview, the interviewee was like, "Hey, you didn't do a waiver." Yeah.
Sorry, I mean a different waiver, not the 601A or 4. I'm talking about your ability to come back legally when you went through customs at the airport.
There was no issues. There were zero issues. I had no problems. I showed them my passport. I didn't have any issues coming back into the country.
Okay, well, it sounds like you got really freaking lucky. But did you have?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Because passport is not enough. You have to have a visa, right?
That's what I thought as well. So I really do believe that I got lucky. As I said, my child was here. Since then, we had another kid as well. We had 2 other children. So I have 3 girls, and I'm married. I've been married for almost 7 years now.
I don't think I've heard of that. You just got waved through at the airport. That's impressive. Usually it's a wave through at the border. So interesting. So either way, whether they let you in correctly or not, USCIS doesn't care. So this would be considered, legally speaking, a permanent bar. So of course, one of my associates can look at your file more if you pick option 2, if you want to. But seems like you might only be eligible for marriage parole in place if you've been here for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I don't think I've been here even for 10 years yet since I re-entered. I re-entered in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, at this point, I don't know my situation. I have an appointment with a lawyer, a refugee. You know, Connecticut refugee Siri is what it's called.
Okay.
But I'm you know, I have an appointment with them on the 26th, so I just don't really know where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? I don't know really what to do. If that makes sense.
I don't like to be bad news bears, but it sounds like you got you got yourself in a pickle here. So I don't. But share the same information to the other legal center or lawyer. So I think the key issue is what is in your passport. It sounds like you didn't have a visa in your passport when you entered the last time in 2019.
I did not.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I left for a year.
Yeah.
And then I came back here. I just on a whim. You know, I miss my daughter. I miss my wife. And I wanted to come back here. And I just got on a plane.
And when did you file the 485 application with the other attorney?
I have my file. I don't know exactly what she did. As I said,
okay.
I'm 25. I don't know anything about this. My mom never really told me about immigration growing up. So this is all me finding out all this.
So I'm talking about when your wife filed for you, right? Your spouse filed for you?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Do you know if you filed a 485 application? That's when you would need to sign.
I'm not even sure. It's been like 2 years since we last, filed. So I really I have the file in like my emails and stuff, but I just don't have like
we'll study that, review it, because that's what the attorney would ask, right? The one you're going to meet on the 26th, like what was said in the decision letter. Because in some scenarios, that when we're at the interview, the officer would say, "Okay, you can file a waiver application," but it sounds like they didn't even present that option to you.
That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't even. All I know is that like my lawyer filed. She did what she was supposed. She did what she was supposed to do and didn't do the waiver that that 1 year that I stayed from 18 to 19.
Okay.
That she didn't file that waiver form. She told me I didn't need it. And then in the end, that was basically what like messed me up because unless I was able to file that waiver, they were going to revoke my work permit essentially.
Oh, okay. Well, the work permit is the least of the worries. It's about the whole deal. Okay.
Of course.
Because it's just temporary work permit anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
All right. Good luck to you.
Sir, I appreciate you.
Yeah, sure. Join the live next time. Keep us updated. Take care.
Have a good day.
All right. So, man, that's what I'm saying. Some people think it's just forms. Not, and I don't know if that attorney did anything wrong. I would still want to investigate that myself if we were hired. But you can see how I have to go through the questions, right? And ask someone like, well, what was actually in the passport? You can see you just experienced that, right? So the same thing we would ask you, right? So if you're gonna go talk to our team, another attorney's team, and then when you got to pay a fee, we don't want to waste your time. You got to know your file. If you don't know the situation, have the documents ready when you speak to an attorney. This is TikTok, so it's all good. This is just quick on YouTube, and Facebook, so it's quick. So, all right, we're gonna bring on. We got a guest on YouTube. Let's bring G.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. I have a question. It's mostly on implementation of policy. I'm flabbergasted on parole in place implementation in terms of there's no federal register out. And it's very chaotic, very like people are even thinking that maybe it's Kamala Harris that's going to run and trying to stop the program. I mean, lawyers are making a video about that. There's a lot of speculations. And recently, the good news is that the USCIS reached out to people that applied for I-601 waiver and asked them, like, told them basically that they might be eligible for parole in place. So get ready. But so my question predominantly on like I'm really shocked. It's such a big program on such a heavy scale. But even in Reddit, I was reading USCIS officers that they're not hiring any new officers. They're just literally reaching out to present officers to volunteer for it, and they're still hiring. Like it's not like the preparation is so bad. Like and I mentioned I'm regular here, and you mentioned in DACA also they didn't publish it in Federal Register. So so my question is like to get your viewpoint on why that's happening and what is the future of this program and can they able to handle them many applications?
I don't know. I mean, I have my own personal opinion, but I'm not the expert in this. I haven't worked for the USCIS before or been in politics myself. So, but it's just what I believe happened here is that they want to do something, right? The Biden administration, they want to do something to help people, and they know Congress won't pass any laws. So they put something together haphazardly, right? And that's kind of how the government works. That's why you have the Federal Register. That's why you have Congress in general say, okay, I'm going to create a law, but okay, specific U.S. agency, you have to create the rules behind it for the guidelines. So nothing different. So is it concerning ultimately? No, because that's normal. Is it concerning for you specifically? Of course, everyone's concerned. I'm concerned, but in a general higher level scheme of things, it's normal. That's just how the U.S. government works. It's nuts, but the government's in chaos per se, controlled chaos. And I know that's not helpful for you now, but the start date is not until Monday. I know it's coming up very soon, but start date doesn't mean you have to apply that day. So that's why I have a webinar on Tuesday. So if anyone's interested, you can click my link and select webinar and the specific topic, marriage parole in place. And what I'm going to do, assuming more information is going to come out on Monday, then I'm going to have some time to digest it, read it, and share with y'all
Right.
in the webinar. And
Perfect.
I'm not going to, I'm going to reserve that just for a webinar off these platforms because, there could be a lot of questions, other questions not related to PIP. So, anyways, that'd be a reservation per se. I don't know. I don't know if that really answered your question. Maybe
No,
not.
no, it does because like we don't know, we don't have data points. We're not professionals, right? And when new programs come like that, and if you're eligible, like we all have like years and trying to create a strategy, like what's happening, and it's very confusing that it's gonna start on Monday, and you're hearing all kind of news like they're not hiring any officers, and they're just like the preparation is so bad, and it's scary. Like imagine if you apply and it's like 2 years wait. And in the meantime, those who already applied for I-601 waiver or other alternatives, they will get that process. They're like wasting so much resources and time. So I was worried about that. But
yeah, our team, we use technology to help the workflow along, remind us to do certain things, right? But
Right.
I don't know if the government has anything like that, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
But
thank you.
I understand.
I would love
acknowledge
to. I would love
what
to join that.
you're saying, but, they certainly need more officers for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, G.
Thanks for
Take
your
care.
time.
All right, all right. Yeah, I recognize G. Well, thanks for coming back, G. All right, so we got we got what's it called? Looking at the time, okay. It's basically 11:30 Central Time. I didn't expect to go live for I think 2 hours. So at least on TikTok. So I appreciate y'all. Okay. Click above or down here, wherever you're watching, to follow, subscribe, be a community member here at greencardguys.tv. A lot of stuff is about to happen. Okay. This is all preliminary. Marriage parole in place, as you heard, is supposed to start August 19th on Monday. If you don't know you're eligible, go to my link, select option number 3 for the webinar, and you'll get the link to schedule for the webinar. Okay. And that'll be held on Tuesday, right after. Hopefully the rules come out, the information comes out. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Take care.